All right, let's get started. So, anything stand out to you that you want to talk about first?
Can you just like pick up an item and just wave it around so I can see if there's actually less delay here? Okay, there is.
Yep.
There's a point to this exercise. Okay.
Sweet. And I mean, why not start here? Alucard sword.
Alucard sword. I would say this is for me. So okay, first of all, I guess a little bit of a preface.
Mm-hmm.
Weapons in randomizer are kind of a way of progression.
Yeah. Because I mean, if
In
you
the first castle.
keep going, yeah.
So in the first castle, the two concerns when it comes to damage output and weapons are: am I going to traverse the castle efficiently, first of all? And this is Alucard sword, not Alucard.
Yeah.
So are you going to traverse the castle efficiently when it comes to normal combat? And can I kill all rocks?
Yeah, kill Aurochs, and I don't think there's really any other bosses that really are that tough. Maybe Cerberus if you have like only fire
You can kill him with
weapons.
fist even, so
Yeah, I guess it would just be
it's not
slow.
really that much of an issue.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's like the main things. And then just the weapon properties just improve the situation from there.
Yep.
And obviously in second castle, weapons kind of change their role, and there they become: can I kill Galamoth and Dracula?
Yeah, because anything that's good enough to kill Aurochs is good enough to kill pretty much all the bosses in Second Castle, excluding Galamoth and Dracula. Those are the two that you really need to worry about. So yeah.
Yep.
Starting off, I assume all Alucard equipment is the Alucard version and not the Alucard version. You don't even have...
I just
Yeah, it's only the sword and the shield to worry about. So yeah, those would probably be in meme/trash tier if you really were that concerned. They're just not very good. They don't really do anything.
meme tier, I would say.
Yeah.
But
Alright.
yeah, Alucard sword.
I'm thinking like top
it
of
can
A,
finish
right?
the game, but I would put it at A.
Yeah, it's
I
like
would not put it S tier. I would put it top A tier,
yeah, I agree.
in my opinion. Fantastic range, amazing attack speed, and just provides you so much efficiency, more
Yeah.
than you would expect, just because you're killing stuff.
Yeah, DPS is crazy. The utility of the quarter circle forward attack, where you teleport in front and then slash behind, there is some utility to that. That, you know, if you're creative, you can make use of that.
Even survivability.
Yeah, yeah, you can just get out of some like dodge attacks with it and stuff because you are invincible while doing it. So
Yep.
yeah, fully agree. Alucard male. So I'm curious what you think about like how armor really affects your opinion. I guess like what makes a good armor versus a bad armor.
So it kind of goes into the other considerations in the first castle. I think armor really can kind of become relevant. So if you have a weapon that is not A tier and you want to go kill all rocks, you kind of want something else to support you,
Yeah,
because you don't want just to go with that weapon that is not amazing.
that's true. Like
So
maybe
I
some
feel like-
healing or fire resistance, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, fire resist or healing or good defense.
And this kind of covers
So, yeah.
all of it except healing. You do get fire resist and great defenses with Alucard male. So
Yeah, it's like a lower fire resist. It's just damage reduction, but it's pretty good.
yeah,
Even still, even with all of that defense and everything,
it doesn't really help you
it's-
go fast.
it's like B at best.
Yeah, I'm thinking like it's probably gonna be mid to low B, so I'll just throw it in there for now. Just because
Yeah.
it's good utility, but realistically, like if you play perfectly, you don't have to worry about getting hit. You know, obviously there are some circumstances where you just can't avoid getting hit, but yeah. Alucard shield, easy S tier. Like we can just agree. Like
Yep.
yeah, like it's the best
Obviously
shield.
not because of it being a shield, but it great defense, best damage output in the game.
Yeah, with shield rod. Obviously, it's like circumstantial whether you'll get Maulblung or not, or shield rod or not. But still, like even just having a shield that gives you that much defenses is still great in and of itself. And the opportunity to just melt every boss and never have to worry about it. Like
Even here's the thing, Neo. Even without shield rod or Mablung sword, you want this. you want to have the availability of it in the
Pretty
game.
much. Yes. I would say if there's no shield rod on the table, it's still like a solid A tier. Like great defenses, like utility of just having a shield. Like most shields work the same outside of the ones that do damage, like Dark Shield and Medusa Shield, but still like they're going to be around the same, so we're kind of really basing it off of its like shield rod potential.
Yeah, I have another shield to talk about later. That's
Yeah.
gonna go over the.
Is this Ring of Arcana here, right?
This is Ring of Arcana, yes.
Yeah. I don't know
I'm
how
interested to hear what you feel about this.
So Ring of Arcana really is only useful for getting more item drops. I would only ever equip this if I have nothing else in my like ring slots, like nothing else in my equipment slots. Like if I have anything that slightly increases my damage output or any other kind of utility, then I would put it over Arcana, because Arcana doesn't even increase luck. It just increases the chance that the rare item of the enemy will drop.
It's total drop rate, so it's
Yeah.
kind of like luck
Yeah.
for the most part.
So
It increases the chance for both items to drop. Effectively.
so I don't want
If
to
there
put
was
it.
a manly tier, I would put it there.
Isn't that what the meme tier is kind of for?
I mean, I guess we're putting it in meme tier.
But that's the thing, is like it's definitely useful, but not in a significant way. It's kind of like a passive thing that you would really only use if you feel like it. I don't know.
I don't know if we have Lapis here, but it's kind of the same thing.
I think C tier is
sure, whatever.
Yeah, I think C tier is more fitting. Yeah. Next ring
Low
up.
C tier.
Yeah, low C tier. Next ring up is Ares. I'm thinking B tier for this, or A tier, somewhere
What?
around here.
Really?
Yeah.
I would put Ring of Ares in S tier.
Really? Like low S?
S tier. Yes.
Oh.
So here's the thing. 24 strength
Yeah.
can make an unviable set of equipment suddenly good enough to end the game.
This is true. Yeah.
And it drastically improves like shield rod spells
Oh, that's
and
true.
like low tier weapons that have fast attacks like Vorpal. Yeah, it makes stuff dangerous, but I still feel like it says, like when I have Ring of Ares and Iron Shield spell, I feel like it almost does more damage than Alucard Shield. It's crazy.
You make a solid argument, and I will agree to put it in S. I don't think it deserves to be like near the top, just because the downside is very like if you're using this plus a Muramasa, you're gonna die in 2 hits to like anything, you know. So it or like this plus a duplicator or something like that. Like anything else that decreases your defense on top of this will put you in the range of dying to almost anything, especially in the second castle. So
yeah,
it's definitely a risky pick, but I will agree to put it in S.
yeah. Let's say they go left to right.
Yeah, left being the top of the tier, and then right being less. Yeah. Attack potion.
20 attack. So that goes.
Yeah, that's pretty.
Here's the thing about attack potion, it increases the damage of everything,
Yeah.
including even stuff like Power of Vlad, Power of Sire, which typically does 40 damage. So it's a 50% damage increase for that. And if you have something like Vorpal, like if you have a problematic boss fight like Olrox, that's immediately a way in. So
Basically, it's a one-time
feeling-
use to make any weapon viable for a single boss fight, if you want to look at it that way.
yeah, for me this is better than having Alucard now.
Yeah, I agree. So you want to do it like top of B tier, since it's a single
Yeah,
use.
That's kind of how I feel at least.
Yeah, I agree. It's a like get out of jail free card for certain bosses. Like if you have subpar equipment, I usually save this for like Galamoth. You know, and going into the second castle, it's like a great time to use it. Do we really need to talk about this?
I think this it's almost its own category. Yes.
Yeah, it's the top of
That's the
meme
perfect
tier.
place.
It's the top of meme tier. It's the best of everything. I'm assuming this is Hallbeam Dagger, or however you pronounce it.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is Holbein Dagger.
Yeah, I'm thinking close to the top of B,
seems-
maybe low A tier. Because it's a great weapon, especially early on. It gives you a lot of utility. Fast shield dashing, because you don't have to deal with your shield dash stopping. Or your backdash doesn't stop when you use it. You just continue to move. So it's a fast and easy way to shield dash.
Yeah, damage output leaves a lot to be desired.
Yeah, early game it's good,
So it
but
would
yeah.
need support.
Yeah. Do you think it's better than an attack potion?
I feel like it's top B tier.
Okay. I could see that.
I think it's definitely better than attack potion because you just have it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Which circlet is this? This is
This is a barrel circuit.
This is barrel circlet? Okay. I kind of want to put it in C tier because it's really only has one use, and that's for Galamoth.
Yeah, very situational.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's honestly, I think
higher than Arcana.
Yeah, because its use, its single use is more important than the potential to get drops. Obviously, like if you get lucky, Arcana is like the greatest thing ever because then you get all these other good shit. But yeah, whatever. Buffalo Star, I'm thinking S tier. Or do you want to put it in A just due to the fact that it requires a duplicator to really be useful? Or if it's cheap in the library or whatever and you happen to have cash?
Yeah, it's interesting to talk about a Buffalo Star because the usage changes drastically when you don't have duplicator. I think it's actually still valuable as a single-use item because it can definitely help, like against, for example, Akmadon, you can chuck a couple items.
Yeah. Especially if you want to get away from him.
Even then, it becomes like in that case, it becomes like B.
Yeah.
When you have duplicator, it becomes S.
Yeah.
So I guess A is appropriate.
Yeah.
Like lower A tier.
That's what I'm thinking. Because I mean, damage output wise, it's better than the Alucard sword, but situationally, Alucard sword just is superior. So I have an interesting idea about library cards because I really feel like they deserve to be on S tier, but at the same time, it's like the reason why I'm kind of hesitant is because yes, they save time, but like a lot of situations you can manage without library cards, but I think the sheer fact that it gives you routing options makes it like S tier.
Yes. I think we definitely valued them more previously than we do now.
I think we're starting to understand that they have limits. Like, library carding out of a Spike Breaker room is really only a 30-second time save at most. The way that I think about it is if I have one library card, I'm guaranteed to save a minute over somebody who doesn't. Like in almost every scenario, about a minute. Because you can use it if you use it correctly, you will save at least a minute.
Well, at least 20 seconds.
At least 20 seconds, but like I feel like a minute is a pretty fair estimate if you use it correctly. Because not everybody's going to like maneuver perfectly or have enough MP to leave like Spike Breaker room and all.
I agree.
Yeah. Or just the fact that you're able to route in an extra like going to the library before somebody else, or the best place to use it is like during Clock Rush, obviously, because you just skip a big part of the Clock Rush, specifically after doing
That's the single biggest time save you can do.
Yeah, basically. It's like almost a 4-minute time save if you use the library card after it's the Spirit Orb check. So, yeah, definitely.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Also saves you, like, if we're looking at a situation where Holy Symbol location check becomes a 30-second castle, this is the thing you want.
Yeah.
This is the thing that saves your life.
Yeah, this will save minutes on that.
Ridiculous backtracking.
Yep. So super useful in some circumstances, and then in like a standard, quote unquote, standard seed, it becomes less useful. So the more awkward the seed, the better it becomes in a way.
Yeah, pretty much.
Chakram, I'm thinking like low C tier, honestly. Like they're kind of useful early game, but I mean,
it's like barely above trash.
Yeah, I think it's better than the Ring of Arcana because it's something you can use, but it's not as useful as the Barrel Circlet. This is an interesting idea. Thrust swords in general. Is this what this is supposed to be?
Yeah, that's exactly how I put it there. I put it as an all-encompassing thrust sword.
Yeah, because you don't really use thrust swords for their DPS except for super early game. But
they get pretty high when it comes to like Obsidian sword and stuff, but the swing speed is so low that even with jump attacks, it's not that high DPS actually.
Yeah, so I would say that just the extra maneuverability, if you get a lucky Claymore drop or something like that in a seed, it has the potential to save time. I know we've definitely had races where I got a thrust sword drop early, and I was able to do, I think it was fire of bat check early, and that gave me mist or something like that, where everybody else
Yeah,
only
can
had
be
like
big.
it has the potential to save time and give you more route options.
It's basically an item that's a hidden progression relic.
Pretty much, yeah. Which
You
we
can think of it that way.
yeah. So I think for that alone, it deserves
But
to be an A.
It quite rarely comes up, but I feel like it's that alone. When you phrase it like that, it instantly should be an A.
Yeah, I think it needs to be an A, but I'm thinking low A, just because
Yeah.
it's like heavily situational.
I agree.
Okay. Covenant Stone, do we want to put that in A tier as well or S tier? Because it's very good.
I feel like it's near the top of A tier.
hmm Would you rather have
High A tier.
a Covenant Stone or an Alucard Sword?
I would rather have an Alucard sword.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. Yeah.
Um,
So below Alucard Sword.
So yeah.
All right. Yeah, this is
So
it's
this one
plus
doesn't have a letter because it's
Yeah.
the good old big boy.
Chrysogram. Yeah, Chrysogram. Oh, real quick for Covenant Stone, is it plus 15 attack or 15 strength? It's 15 strength. That's what I thought. Okay, just making sure. Yeah, Chrysogram, like easy S tier. Do we want to put it above Shield Rod or above Alucard Sword since it doesn't require anything
Yes,
else?
because it doesn't require anything.
Yeah, it's like the single best item to get like on its own, like in a vacuum. Yeah. Cross Shuriken's just is basically
Shuriken.
Buffalo Star, but right next to it, because it's like you throw an extra Cross Shuriken and you did just as much damage as the they essentially function.
Yes.
Yeah, they're the same except this one does it has 70 base attack as opposed to 90.
Yep.
But they're effectively the same. Dude, we just throw it in the trash,
Yep.
right? Fuck this sword.
This is why this is here. So this weapon, even though it's better than some other ones, it's just so awful.
Yeah, it's just a big
The damage is
disappointment.
better, but it swings slowly. The
Mhm.
range is not that impressive. It's expensive in vanilla game,
Yeah.
so that makes it such a disappointment that it lives in the trash.
Yeah,
It's the trash master.
anytime I look at this thing, even if it's not as good as fists, pretty much. So most every weapon that is not as good as just your fist deserves to be in the trash. Like in every situation, I would rather use my fists. Even like when I need range, I would rather just like deal with not having it in a way. Yeah, the Damascus sword. That's what the spread
Yeah,
is.
that's Damascus.
Yep. Darkblade, on the other hand, very decent sword.
Fantastic sword.
Yeah, I'm thinking above Halbine Dagger almost, right?
Yep.
Yeah, it's not.
It's like
It's just
great.
great.
Good damage.
It's just yeah.
And,
It doesn't
like,
have the dark
all-round
element.
solid properties.
Yeah, it doesn't have the dark element, so you don't have to worry about things being resistant to it. It's just a neutral sword with, what is it, 70 attack, 80 attack, somewhere around there? Let's double check that, actually. Control F, dark.
Dark Blade. It's plus 35
Plus
and plus 2
35.
defense.
Plus 2
But
defense. Okay.
That's actually really good. It's more than Harper,
Yeah.
so it's a really good sword.
Yeah, Harper is great. It's more than Luminous, more than Sword of Hatter. Yeah, so...
Yep.
Speaking of which, that makes Sword of Hatter. Yeah, I'll remember that for when that one comes up. Yeah, it does a good job. Pretty much like you don't feel like you're really lacking all that much if you have Dark Blade.
If you need to, you can finish the game with Dark Blade.
Yeah, especially if you
fine.
have like an attack potion or something like that to help boost it as well. Yeah. Backdash movement isn't like that important, Neo. So like, yes, it's helpful for some utility, like just for movement and stuff, but like normal backdash, like chaining backdash isn't that much slower. So.
Yeah. I would not like sacrifice damage in a lot of situations just to get shield dashing.
Not only that, it's more of like, yeah, Holbein is great early game, but like Darkblade is a solid just weapon to have throughout the entirety of the run. Like this becomes outclassed almost immediately, like once you enter like Auroch's quarters and anything beyond that. Like it even becomes obsolete inside of the first castle, whereas Darkblade is pretty good up until like late second castle. Yeah.
Yep.
Dark
Speaking of
Shield.
Dark.
Yeah.
Dark Shield.
I'm thinking A tier, right?
Yeah. It's like mid A tier.
Yeah. Like
Dark Shield has the really cool property of actually doing damage as a shield,
mhm.
as well as having the potential of it being a cool shield rod combo.
Yeah, it does cost
And
a
it
lot of
gives you
MP.
shield dashing.
Yeah, it gives you shield dashing. It costs a lot of MP to do.
But it also does a lot of damage.
Yeah, that as well. So
For the first castle, it's pretty much all you need.
yeah, you'll kill everything with the dark shield in the first castle. You will lose all your MP, so like movement afterwards is something that you have to take into account. But it's also useful for utility. Like if you know it's going to kill an enemy, you don't have to stop to jump slash it. You just pull out the shield and like kill it in one tick or whatever. Or if you want to open a secret wall, you just hold the shield against it, and that helps open it faster. So you open it like as soon as possible. This is a meme tier weapon, right?
I'm sorry, but that's a meme. I love this weapon, but this is meme tier.
Yeah, it's super disappointing.
It only has plus 27 attack. The special is the coolest thing in the game,
but it sucks.
Super low damage.
Yeah,
like,
you would need an attack potion plus a strength potion plus a bunch of boosts to make this like a viable like late game weapon.
It's just that the summons don't do much.
They really don't.
A monster vow is much better than those summons.
Yeah. Speaking of which, do you have Monster Vial on here? It looks like we're missing it.
I don't think I do.
No.
But it will be meme tier as well.
Yeah, it would be higher up in meme tier. But yeah. Drac Tunic. This is actually the drop that I got that I said helped me out last run. I got a Drac Tunic drop.
That's pretty damn good.
It's pretty good. I'm thinking like A tier, right?
That's the best armor
yeah.
in the game for randomizer.
Yeah.
So it gives you a bunch of defense, a shit ton of defense actually,
Yeah.
and it gives you a total of 3 attack.
Yeah.
Now 3 attack doesn't sound like a lot, but if you have something like Holbein Dagger, Vorpal Blade, that stacks up.
Yeah. Rats is
So, I
saying
think
low
it's high
S.
A.
Yeah, I'm thinking high A, not low
No.
S. I think it's the best.
Not
It might be the
less.
top.
It's a utility item after all.
I think it might be the top of A.
I think it's.
Do you think it's below
I think
Alucard
it's lower
Sword?
than Alucard Sword.
I can
still.
see that, yeah. Because like having the sword is at the end of the day you have that sword and you can beat the game with it. It's not the best way to beat the game, but you can beat the game with it. Versus if you're using your fists with fucking Drac, you're still lacking in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dracula Tunic is the best armor of the game, and it's still the thing that's like, oh, I'll take that. Awesome.
Yeah. I mean,
You're not like jumping up and down.
speaking of best armor in the game, best helmet in the
Yeah.
game. Fucking this
Now
is like
that.
low S tier.
This is S tier.
Yeah.
This is low S tier, below library card, but this is
Below?
amazing. People don't even.
I would think this would be
Yeah.
above Ring of Ares for me, right? Or do you think Ring of Ares is technically like well, it's technically stronger, but there's no downside to this, right?
Well, okay. I guess in that sense, it's better than Ring of Ares. Yeah.
So do we want to do this?
Now I'm conflicted. They're very close in my mind.
Yeah. It's
So
a tough one.
What Dragon Helm does, first of all, it literally lowers the defense of enemies in half.
Mm-hmm.
So it can gigantically improve your damage output with any weapon, doesn't matter what you're using.
Yeah.
So it's an offensive tool
Yeah,
that
it's-
also just gives you some defense.
It's the only debuff in the game, right? It's the only way to debuff enemies from my understanding.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So in some cases, Ares is going to do more damage, but in some cases, like for late game bosses, Dragon Helm is going to do more damage.
I think overall more utility from Dragon Helm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just more solid.
Yeah,
Safe.
I'd much rather be wearing a Dragon Helm than Ares in almost every
Yeah,
case.
I would just say these 3 items are very close together.
No. So, yeah, these 3 are pretty close. This, on the other hand, I think goes here above Shield Rod, or
Yep.
above Alucard Shield, but below Chrysogrim.
Absolutely.
Because the only downside,
Duplicator, infinite utility.
yeah, it's the best utility of anything because you get to just use all of these great one-off items that are super overpowered or super useful, but you can use them as much as you want. So,
Yep.
like this with combination with Alucard Shield and Mana Prisms, like it's fucking over. You know, that's what you want in most scenarios. That's like the best equipment for just speeding through the game. Obviously, 2 downsides. One is you require you're required to have good equipment to use, like a Buffalo Star, like Mana Prisms. And you also lose out on how does it affect your stats again? It's like Constitution goes down. Yeah. Yeah, minus 10 con, minus 20 defense, minus 10 int, and minus 10 luck. So you're losing out on a lot of stats, mostly defense. So you become very squishy. You can die pretty quickly if you're not careful. So, but all of that can get circumvented by just being fucking broken and spamming like overpowered items. So
we're kind of, the value of survivability gets outweighed by damage output and the utility in the way we're thinking about this.
And if you have a potion, then it's like, who cares? Like iframe abuse, and you also get all of your health back whenever you want.
You will almost always have potion, high potion, elixir.
Worst case scenario, like food. If you're in a safe spot and you're about to die, you can just spam some food real quick, you know? So overall, like, not the best item standalone in the game, but the best utility easily. This is something that I feel conflicted about. Dynamite?
It's interesting, yeah. Dynamite is interesting.
I'm feeling like it's like a B tier item for me, right?
Yeah, it's a B tier, but it's kind of similar to an attack potion, but lower.
Yeah, I was thinking about putting it right here.
It's the thing that you use on like Aurochs or some other boss, like Minotaur or something.
Yeah.
To kind of help you out a little bit.
Yeah, it's really good in the Minotaur Werewolf fight, so you can focus on one, like just punching. If you have low strength, you'll be able to kill one and then just use the dynamite on the other. You could even just throw it at the beginning of the fight, and I think it does a ton of damage to both.
Yeah.
Great to use on Aurochs. I'm trying to think where else you could really use it.
Against Karasamon.
You can use it against Karasamon to kill quickly. If you, for whatever reason, feel like using it on Slugger and Gaibon, it will insta-kill both of them, pretty much. Yep. If you don't want to do the Summon Spirit and like punching them to death. This is kind of a hot take, but I'm kind of feeling for the Elemental Swords that they're almost trashed here. Like they're so useless.
A lot, and I feel like you're almost right, but they're still slightly better in the properties of the blade compared to the lower tier standard swords.
Yeah.
So I feel like they're still low C.
But what does lightning do? Like, what does that? In what way does that help you kill any boss or progress in the game at all? Realistically, like lightning alone is a very shitty element. Ice brand, I would at least argue, can help you with Cerberus, but everything else, like the elements, don't really fucking help at all.
Yeah, for the most elementals, it can only be a problem. So that's why I think it's very low.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's actually still better than Dark. Because Dark, a lot of bosses will just resist.
That is true, yeah. There's only one weapon that has like the Dark...
Mormagil.
Yeah, Mormagil is the only one, yeah.
That's coming up later.
It's just an okay sword with... It's an okay sword with also quite a few downsides, which is if it's something resists lightning, which Dracula resists all elements, you know? Like, you're not going to use this on Drac. You're not going to use this on... I think Aurochs also resists quite a few elements, right? Am I crazy?
I'm not sure about that.
I thought he had similar resistances to Dracula, just not as strong.
He doesn't resist fire, I know that for sure.
Okay. Either way, so I'm just going to put it at the bottom of C, but I really want to put it in trash tier, because I never use these, ever. Like, I would rather use my fists, personally.
Interesting.
Interesting that you guys think it's acceptable. I don't think it's acceptable, but, you know. This is like the bare minimum.
Strong versus Dark.
That's it? Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. Elixir?
So Elixir, it's kind of interesting. Elixir, yeah, it restores all of your HP. It actually takes a while to do that.
Yeah, all potions have
There's in iframes, gap, heal.
Yeah, so if you get caught in that gap between actually healing and the iframes, you still die.
You almost want like an anti-venom.
Sometimes, but realistically, if you're using it only for iframes, it gives quite a few iframes, which is great. And then if you really need to heal, you just need to be careful about when to use it. That's, you know, the skill behind healing, I guess, in this game, is like knowing when to do it.
I would put it in C.
C tier, really? Below circle barrel? Or circle barrelet, barrel circlet? I'm so...
Barrel circlet,
yeah. I don't know. I think it has more utility, actually.
It's better utility-wise.
You think the...
Like, in the weird situation where you have a fairy, the fairy can use your high potions and stuff as well.
Yeah. Wait, you're saying high potion is better than elixir?
Yes.
Wait, what?
It heals faster. Yeah.
Oh, true, yeah. Yeah. I think I'm going to put it above the circlet, though, because it's way more useful. Like, even if
I can see that.
So, I guess I'll just do this for now, because I'm going to... That's a weird one, to think that the high potion is actually better than the elixir, because it gives you health faster.
Yeah, pretty much.
So this weapon deserves to be in meme tier. However...
it's so weird.
Yeah.
How... As a weapon, is just the worst. Even though it has pretty good attack.
Have you ever tried to kill something with this fucking weapon? No.
I have killed stuff with it.
But why? It
has better attack than the Flambird.
Yeah, this is S stock, by the way, guys.
Yeah, this is.
It's a strong sword, but it fucking sucks because it gives you the limp dick thrust every single time. It's so bad. Like, it forces you forward whether you want it or not, and it's not even like a full thrust sword special attack where it like lets you hover in midair. You just fall immediately. It's really bad.
The reason why this is weird is because the thrust still allows you to do progression.
Yes, this is still considered a two-handed, kind of. It doesn't give you the same utility as the two-handed swords because you drop like a fucking rock. You can't wolf rise with it. You can't... certain gaps that is clearable with a two-hander, you can't clear with the S-stock, but it gives you a dive kick after using it, which is pretty big if you want to enter Aurochs quarters early. That's pretty much all it's useful for. Or just having a dive kick in general if you want to do multiple like gravity boot chains and stuff like that. So I'm not going to put it in A tier. I'm just putting it next to this for comparison. I don't know what to do with this piece of shit. I want to throw it here. I want to throw it in meme tier because it's kind of a meme, but it's actually useful.
Yeah. I think bottom B is probably where it lives.
Okay, that's fair.
I really want to put it in meme tier, but the utility is just so big.
I think defining meme tier is it's like, yes, these things technically do things, but they're outclassed so heavily. Yeah. But what they do is not necessarily trash. It's just kind of a meme. You know, that's the main distinction.
Meme defines itself.
There you go. This is Ring of Feanor, right?
Yeah, Ring of Feanor.
I don't know. It's like
pretty good stat boost. It's, again, the kind of thing. I think I would rather have a Dark Blade.
Yeah, I'd rather have a Dark Blade, but I would take this over a Holbein Dagger.
Yes. So, the attack potion is plus 20, but it's not permanent.
Yes.
Whereas this is permanent boost, and it's a pretty good one. It's like plus 5 all.
Yeah, it's the let's double check this.
Plus 7 strength.
Yeah.
Plus 1 attack, so it's a total plus 8 damage.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
Anything that we care about, so it's actually pretty good.
It's the second best overall item to equip. It's basically a baby Ring of Varda, if you want to think of it like that.
Yeah, a little bit. We're gonna see another baby Ring of Varda that's better later, but yeah.
Yeah. So, up next, Fire Mail. Really only useful versus Aurochs. And maybe Cerberus, yeah.
And going around in the catacombs.
That's true.
Honestly, I will take this over Alucard Mail any day.
Yeah. Because in practice, it does better.
When you need it.
Yeah, in practice, this will make the Aurochs fight like something that's very scary without equipment into like, oh, if I get hit by a flame pillar, who cares? It's only doing 1 damage. Like, I don't care.
No, it's healing you.
Wait, no, that's the fire shield. Fire mail doesn't heal you. It just is high resist.
Is it?
Yeah, it doesn't heal
actually
you.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I flipped them in my head. But
Yep.
yeah, still. Similar thing.
Hold up. This fucking Discord shit is getting annoying. I'm getting messages for shit.
Disable notifications.
Yeah, I'm gonna. There we go. I fixed it. All right. Up next is Flame Shield. This shit is fucking good. I honestly think it deserves to be above Dark Shield.
I think it's very similar to Dark Shield. Yeah, it's above. It does, like, it insta kills Shaft,
Yep.
for example. So
Its
yeah,
Shield
yeah,
Rod spell
yeah.
has a high MP cost for sure. Like it's almost half of your MP in like
it's still lower than Dark Shield. So
yeah, lower than Dark Shield's, high MP cost. Dracula is resistant to it, so it's not a end game shield at all. But the fact that you are healed from fire means that Cerberus, you don't have to stop attacking Cerberus at any point. You can just jump slash the whole time and not care that you're getting hit by fireballs. Fighting Aurochs is not scary at all. Like the utility behind it, and the what's the enemy that drops the little fireballs?
Gremlins.
The little gremlins, yeah. Those guys are so fucking annoying. Like in the few rooms that you have to deal with them, this makes it so that way they're not a problem at all. You can just ignore the fire. So yeah, I think this is a good spot for it.
Yep.
We're getting up to the.
So now,
This is like the quintessential like item. Your fist is pretty much like what you would compare every other weapon to, because it's what you start with, and it's really good, just overall.
it's amazing.
Yeah, the
It's
DPS is
scary. It doesn't make sense how much DPS you do with tears. With fists.
Yeah.
Tears. What?
Yeah, like there's not a single boss that you can't in the first castle that I think you cannot do with fists alone.
Yeah.
You can do every single boss that you have to worry about. The scariest one is obviously Aurochs, but
Alucard sword to out DPS this.
yes, I'm thinking this is top of B tier personally. Well, no, because it's below
I'm almost
Darkblade.
feeling like it's A tier.
But then why even have a
technically
Darkblade
fist-
though?
Um.
I just have a hard time seeing
Yeah,
like,
you're right. Actually, you're right.
putting it above a very solid sword like Darkblade.
So it's near Holbane.
Yeah,
in that case.
I think it's technically Holbein very barely outclasses it, because I think it might do better DPS, but not by a lot. The only real difference between a Holbein dagger and your fist is the fact that this gives you backdash potential.
I almost feel like this is correctly placed, but I almost wanna give more credit to Fist.
Yes.
But this is technically accurate. Yeah.
Yeah. Neo has an interesting idea. Honestly, I'd put Darkblade over the two-handed swing sword in A, and Fist next to it.
You have a red with a claymore.
The only problem
Style
is,
weapon.
giving yourself a dive kick like boosts it because of its utility. It's technically not a great sword like Claymore. Obsidian sword is pretty good, but realistically, the idea of having a dive kick and like all of the potential that comes with it, just from a sword alone and no other relics, it's pretty big. Like this could be a game changer in a race situation, versus like just a Darkblade it's a solid sword, but you're not like that crazy about it. Flamestar,
live without it.
Yeah. Firestar, Flamestar. I want to put it below Buffalo Star just because of flame resistance.
It's below Crush Shuriken for me as well.
Really?
because
You would
it
rather have Cross
loses,
Shuriken?
Crush Shurikens are better for Dracula.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
So
This is good against.
I overvalue them over Flame Stars.
They are stronger against some enemies, but in a situation where you have a duplicator and you have the chance between Cross Shuriken and Flamestar, you're going to have the Cross Shuriken equipped over the Flamestar if you have both in your inventory. Yeah, and throwing them
I think
is
it's slower, and if you're running their face, it doesn't matter.
yeah.
But it's potentially slower as well. I'm not sure about that.
Okay, so we're going to a kind of early on in the randomizer's life an overhyped weapon until we kind of realize what it actually does. So let me pull up the Fury Plate.
Well, Fury Plate doesn't have accurate stats in the clicking.
Yeah, the
Fury Plate, I think, just gives you +1 attack, pretty much.
it's
I think that's what it actually does.
+1 attack, but but it temporarily increases your defense.
I don't think it does that though.
No?
I think it just kind of doesn't do anything else.
Either way, it's just a defensive thing with +1 attack. So you would wear this over wearing nothing. So I would kind of put it at the...
I would put it above Alucard Mail, below Fire Mail.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing, you would wear it over Fire Mail overall, but Fire Mail's utility when you need it is so much better.
Yeah. Like, this is great because you get +1 attack, and that's, you know, better than nothing. It's honestly better.
If this was C tier, then Alucard Mail is immediately also C tier.
Yeah, Alucard Mail is great, but it's not great, if that makes sense. Like, defensively, I guess in general, we kind of undervalue defense. Like, coming up, we'll explain it with God Garb, I think is a better way to have that conversation. Yeah. But coming up is Gauntlet, which is what, +5 strength or +5 attack? I want to be clear on that.
+5 attack.
Yeah.
Which is a boost to any damage.
Yes.
So I still feel like Feanor is better, but this would be close.
Yeah. So right here.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I agree.
+5 attack is on anything you do, spells even, any weapon attacks as well.
Mm-hmm.
So usable items, pretty good.
All right, God's Garb. This is the quote-unquote best defensive armor in the game. So for that, I feel like just put it above the other armors. But that's it. Like, realistically...
Above the other armors?
Well, because this generally... Like, if you have Fire Mail, you could also just be wearing God's Garb. Because you're going to have the same defenses pretty much either way. Like, you don't have the same resistances necessarily, but you're going to tank hits just as effectively, but now with everything.
I value the resistances more than the straight defense.
I'm just saying
in my
that...
opinion, this is...
Below Fire Mail?
This is below Alucard Mail. No, seriously, sorry. This is just above Alucard Mail, but below Fury Plate. If I have Fury Plate in my inventory, I don't pick up God's Garb because I want the damage.
That's true, yeah. Yeah, and you get a decent amount of defense from it as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's basically just
More
a better...
decent.
It's basically just like, I would wear this over Alucard Mail, but I would, yeah, probably wear these two more often in general.
I mean, honestly, if I have Alucard Mail equipped and I see this somewhere that will take me more than half a second to pick up, I don't go to pick it up.
Yeah, like if I already have Alucard Mail, it's like, why even get God's Garb at that point? Because the amount of time it takes to menu and put it on is like, you're already losing time, you know?
Definitely.
Just in general, like, defenses are good, but very situationally, because in general, most of the time, you'll have other tools to help you not get hit and not die. And it's slower to worry about your defense in general. It's better to just worry about offense. What sort is this, Graham?
This is Graham. This is a +30 attack.
So
it's
slightly
5 attack worse than the Dark Blade.
It's like slightly
Still
better than Fists, like in between, like above Holbein Dagger, but below Gauntlet, I feel like.
It's pretty similar to Holbein Dagger.
Yeah.
Honestly.
I put it slightly above just because you could probably... It has more damage overall. I don't know if, like, DPS-wise, like, the Holbein Dagger is very short range, so you have to be very, very close to your enemy in order to actually maximize your damage. And most bosses, they don't stand still, so it's not like you can effectively mash the Holbein Dagger on them. So, yeah, I'll put it above that for now. What's this next one? Bastard Sword?
So this is Great Sword.
This is Great
an
Sword.
Interesting weapon. It's a two-handed weapon that has +65 attack, but no thrust special.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of interesting. So I think that kind of puts it around the S stock because the utility of the attack becomes much better.
I would put it below. I'd put it above S stock for sure. I would put it up. I'd probably put it right below. Here. What is this? Dynamite. No. But
I mean,
it's
here's the
better than
thing.
fists, I feel like, right?
You may use it over fist, but you also may not. Because
Yeah.
it's two-handed.
It's two-handed,
So
and on top
that's
of
kinda
that,
weird.
you cannot use this thing grounded. If you don't jump slash this attack, it takes fucking forever. It's like a 3-second sword swing, especially if you diagonally angle it downward. Like if your only way to enter the merman, or I'm sorry, the holy symbol check is to break the floor using this weapon, it's going to cost you like 20 seconds or something like that. It's absurd.
Yeah.
I'm skipping I am the wind. Sorry, guys. Because right now we are not
It's
the
only
wind.
special occasions.
Yeah, we save that one for very special occasions.
Yeah, I'm very conflicted with that because when you need the range, like for Aurochs, like Rats mentioned, then it's definitely really good because you can jump and hit him in the face with this for lots of damage.
I want to put it slightly above fist, just due to like high damage and somewhat better range, and like certain fights, like fighting Lesser Demon, I would rather have this over my fists. Fighting Aurochs, I'd rather have this over my fist. Fighting like Minotaur and Werewolf, I'd rather use my fists. Fighting so certain bosses, they're kind of like, I don't know, they're very very close.
Yep.
Yeah, I'd put it like that. The downside of it being so slow and only being able to use it in the air is like pretty strong though. Gurthang, oh man, this big
This
boy.
weapon though.
I feel like we
Wow.
put it.
What a hidden star.
We definitely, it's above Alucard's sword in my opinion.
I think it's above. I
Yeah.
think it's just below.
You think it's just below Alucard's sword?
Yeah.
I think
Alucards are still gonna have the utility of like
True.
the special and the being able to be constantly invincible.
the one downside for Gurthang, and I kind of agree with you, is you do have to do Dark Metamorphosis every time, and that's like a 1.5 time loss because you have to wait for the Dark Metamorphosis animation every time. And there's certain things that cancel that, like transforming into bat. So pretty much every time you want to use this weapon to kill a boss, you have to recast the spell, which costs MP and costs you time. But other than that,
And
it's
for
like
example,
amazing.
you can't use it for Galamon.
Oh yeah, that's true. Because
You can't use the bonus at all.
you can't cast Dark Metamorphosis and get into position
Yes.
to do the stun lock. So yeah, that's a pretty big downside. Versus Alucard's sword, you just mash that shit on Galamoth and it works out pretty well. This is Luminous, right? That's the right.
This is sort of Hador, I think.
No. Let me double check. Yep, you were correct. Sword of Hatter, plus 24 attack. Very
But
similar
I kinda
looking.
put them all,
Yeah,
I kind of put them all in the same place because they do the same thing effectively.
yeah, they're
Whether
just.
you have Hador or Luminous, it's kind of the same.
It's just a worse version of Graham, honestly. Like,
Yeah, effectively.
yeah,
Um,
it's a solid sword.
pretty good still.
I would
but,
take it over like the elemental
I
swords.
honestly would rather have Holbein, I think, at this point.
You think? Yeah,
With
it's
the increased utility.
honestly, yeah, it's like one of these. It's this like situation where it's like, yeah, some cases it's better than using fists, but realistically, fists are so good that it's like they're only just barely outclassing them, both the great sword and the sword of Hador. Harper is kind of in the same boat where it's like not as good as Graham, but like it's like somewhere around this like B tier. I don't know if I would put
Yeah.
it above or below the Holbein dagger. It
I
would,
think it's above.
Yeah.
I think like Harper, when I get it, I'm happy.
yeah, because you can
And I'm
still
content
one
to
shot.
even finish the game with it.
You can. It's funny enough. Like the difference in like plus 24 attack versus plus 28. 24 being Sword of Hador and 28 being Harper. You one shot a lot of enemies that you wouldn't with the Hador. So you're just generally moving through the castle faster because of it, and that ends up
Indeed.
saving you a lot of time. Heaven Sword. I feel like throwing it in.
No,
the,
I think this is trash, dude.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think this weapon sucks. It's supposedly a throwing weapon, but it has a garbage hitbox that doesn't hit anything. It's like
very thin.
exactly at the height where it goes over stuff and not high enough to hit other stuff. Thin hitbox.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't multi-hit properly.
The only thing that would save it from trash tier is if you have two of them and then it goes to meme tier, and that's it.
Yeah, that's literally where it would put it up there.
Yep. So I'll put it above Damascus sword just because I want to disrespect it more. Holy Rod, surprisingly, pretty good weapon. I feel like I would put it above the Graham, right? Just from its holy attribute. Would you put it any higher than that?
I would put it higher than Gauntlet.
Okay, I could see that too. Yeah. General
This thing destroys Aurochs, for example. Absolutely mauls them.
Same with Lesser Demon. Yeah, they're both weak to holy.
So, and this is kind of what you want with a weapon from the B tier weapons.
Yeah.
The B tier weapons are okay. I need to kill Aurochs.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. The A tier is like, okay, I want to use this to try and beat the game, excluding the utility that you get from the Claymore and whatnot. But A tier is like, okay, I can technically beat the game with this, but I'm not happy about it. S tier is like, okay, I'm happy, like I can beat the game and do it fast.
Is we're playing Lords of Shadow, and I want to defeat the Devil.
Yeah.
I want to defeat Satan, and I can do that with S tier. A tier is I'm playing Symphony of the Night.
Yeah. Is this supposed to be Sword Card familiar? Or is
this is Holy Sword.
Okay. I think they have a very similar sprite, which is why I'm confused.
Yeah. Actually, I think I may have messed up the sprite.
Yeah.
I intended for this to be Holy Sword, but I think it's actually the other one. But yeah, let's treat it as if it's Holy Sword.
Okay.
For this consideration.
Which
is basically a much better Holy Rod.
Yeah, it's a better Holy Rod.
And actually, it does plus 26.
Do you want to put it?
Things resist holy.
Do you want to put it?
I actually kind of want to put it above Dark Sword.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, above Dark Blade, because just the utility of having something that's holy makes it quite a bit more.
Can you scroll down? Did I put both of them in? No.
No.
Yeah.
All right. Iron Fist.
That's my bad.
Iron Fist is just.
Iron Fist, actually pretty good.
Yeah, I would just put it like below Holbein Dagger, or would it be above?
I don't know. I would put it above, honestly.
Yeah. How much?
Plus 26 damage.
Plus 26 attack. Wait, it's 26
and
attack.
It has. Yeah.
Oh shit!
And it has the flurry punches special move.
Oh shit! I might be.
It's really good.
Yeah, I might be underrating it.
In fact, plus 26. This is near Holy Rod for me.
Yeah. Okay. Let's bump it up. Do you want to put it below or above? I'm thinking below, just because.
Below, not low. So its flurry punch attack is slightly worse than Toka's because it's a horizontal motion, meaning you can't do it in the air.
Oh yeah.
So it's not as good utility.
Oh, I forget that Iron Fist is better than Jewel Knuckle. Okay, for some reason I thought Jewel Knuckle was
better.
Yeah, was the second best. Yeah.
We'll talk about it.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Iron Shield. I feel like that belongs somewhere amongst the other shields above them.
Honestly, above Gurthan even.
The only problem is that this shield does literally nothing for you unless you have the Shield Rod spell that goes along with it.
It's a shield.
That too. I'm just thinking about the utility
you're right.
with the Fire Shield, but I don't know. Like, if
I feel like
nothing...
the gigantic damage output potential still would put it above Fire Shield. So with Shield Rod,
it's like
this is S tier basically.
Without it, it's just another shield. That's the big difference. Is like, how do you compensate for something that has the potential to be like, I would say even above Dragon Helm. Like, I'd be happier to like, I'd put it like right below Alucard Shield with Shield Rod, but without it, it's like, it's like kind of a low end shield. So, I guess we just put it here, like kind of split the difference in a way.
Maybe even below Gurthan.
Yeah.
But like the sheer potential of this shield is amazing.
Potential S tier.
It has the utility of being the shield.
And on top of that, its Shield Rod spell mana is way cheaper than Flame Shield and the Dark Shield. It's probably like 15, like close to a Wing Smash. So for the cost of like one Wing Smash, you just melt shit. So it's very, very powerful.
I wanted to put javelins inside here because it's a very rare thing to actually have javelins
and duplicator.
and duplicator and have that be the thing that you use, but it's actually really good.
Yeah.
So javelins, they pierce stuff. They don't disappear on hit, and they can multi-hit.
Yep.
So even single-use javelins can sometimes be useful.
Still, I'm feeling about just
in B tier.
B tier. Really, I felt like
still put it in B tier.
But where do we put it in B tier? Because they're just so very rarely used.
Fist.
Below the fist. Okay. Yeah.
So,
it's just so unorthodox. Like you don't use them.
Below dynamite.
Yeah, dynamite is a better single use.
Really good.
Like if I have duplicator and I have dynamite, I'm going to be doing way more damage DPS wise than the javelins. But javelins have.
Let's say just above God's Garb, probably for me.
Okay.
Because it has that potential, but the single use is weak. It's just really weak.
Yeah, I never use these.
Like Akmadon.
Yeah.
If you don't have anything to throw at him.
Pretty much. Here we go. Jewel Knuckle. So better than fists technically.
Jewel Knuckle, pretty overhyped.
Yeah.
Marginally better than fist.
I'd probably put it.
It has plus 21 attack, but it's actually, I feel like it kind of loses some of the double hitting properties.
Yeah, the double hit is a little bit harder with the Jewel Knuckle, but it's still possible. I'm thinking about putting it below Halbine Dagger. Just right below it.
That feels about right.
Because it's like, yeah, I technically want it.
Overhyped.
I technically want it over my fists, but sometimes nah. Like realistically, like it's not even worth the menu. Like in practice, this is,
Yeah.
Let's see here. Jewel Sword. We put it in meme tier, right?
Jewel Sword?
It's shitty. It's such a shitty sword.
It's pretty good to have.
There's only one time you would ever really want Jewel Sword, and it's when you need money and you're in the library and you have it. Like that's pretty much it.
Or as a starting sword.
Or yeah, starting sword to get a potential drop. So getting it early on. Yeah. So getting it early on is good. But that's it. It's such a piece of shit. It like would 3-hit the wargs. It's so low damaging wise that I feel like it's a good meme if you happen to get it to work out for you, but it's just not something you're going to use for anything other than, oh, I really need money and I hope I get money from this.
It's plus 15. It's not the worst thing ever.
It's kind of the worst thing ever. Its rate of its speed to swing it is so slow too. So if you use that thing grounded, it's like bad.
I feel like for meme value and for potential actual value, it's still above Sword of Dawn, honestly.
Okay. That's fair. I would
just because money.
I see the Jewel Sword as like same-ish tier as like the Elemental Swords, where I don't really care much for them. Like I would never really use them. They're not as good as my fists, so therefore I don't care. Is this Joseph's Cloak?
You know what? I think looking at the gigantic B tier, I think S-Stock's new home should be top of C.
Yeah.
This is Joseph's Cloak, yeah.
Joseph's Cloak, if there was a style tier, it would go in the top of that.
Yeah, it's not really meme. It's just kind of low utility.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like C somewhere.
Yeah. If I happen to have it,
it's kind of like
in my inventory.
It's kind of like Arcana. If I have it, sure, I'll equip it.
Yeah. If I'm already in the menu and I have it, I'll equip it. But if there was a style tier, it would be at the top. This is which katana? This just plain katana.
Therefore, it has a K.
I'm so dumb. You're right. Okay. So katana is the only one that doesn't decrease stats, right? Am I remembering this correctly? Yeah, it's a plus 35 attack two-hander, but you don't lose any defense for equipping it. So
plus
it's
32.
32, that's what I meant to say, yeah. So how much is Darkblade?
Darkblade is like 25 or something. But Darkblade is one-handed.
Darkblade. No, Darkblade is plus 35.
Darkblade is 35.
So it's a worse version of Darkblade.
It's much worse because it's two-handed.
Yeah.
So when we think...
And Katana's only 32, so...
The Greatsword is barely above Fist.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Katana would be barely above Holy Rod, yeah.
I think it's below Holy Rod in a way because it's a two-hander and it doesn't have as much utility versus like being weak to Holy makes this a lot stronger. Versus Katana is like you can technically get through the first castle with this. Like that's fine.
You can. I beat the whole game like yesterday with the Katana.
Yeah, so it's just very unoptimal. You would much rather have a lot of other weapons.
That's true.
But the fact that it doesn't decrease defense does help a lot because a lot of the other katanas do. It does have the special attack, the slash flurry. So it's got something going for it, you know?
Does it? It has like the bad special attack though. It doesn't have the teleport.
Yeah. This is Covenant Stone, right?
Kingstone.
Kingstone.
This is Kingstone.
Which is worse Covenant Stone.
Yep. This is plus 10.
Plus 10. Does it deserve to be an A tier? Like, I always want to put these on if I have them, but that's because there's not just a whole lot of great, like, rings and such to equip. Because it's in that category, and it
10
doesn't...
is still a lot, honestly. 10 is still a lot.
Yeah. So, interestingly enough, the category of it being a equipment, like the type of equipment that it is, makes it more useful because, one, you have 2 slots to potentially equip stuff, and there aren't a whole lot of great things to equip in that slot, so yeah. So it belongs in A tier, but where?
I feel like it's...
Do I want to put it above the throwing items?
No.
Yeah, I feel like they
I
probably...
feel like it's bottom A tier.
I'd put it... You want to put it below the thrust sword?
Yeah.
I could see it, yeah.
Because the potential utility of thrust sword is still a big factor.
Yeah. Yeah, still an A.
Why is Gurthang in N tier? Because it does ridiculous damage.
If you
Absolutely absurd.
If you use Dark Metamorphosis plus Gurthang, it's like a plus 2.2 or a multiplier of 2.2 times. It's ridiculous. Like
It doesn't make sense how quickly it kills up with it.
It's so strong. It's so fucking strong. The only downside
It's a
is
boss killer.
you have to use Dark Metamorphosis beforehand. Yeah. It's one of the things that we found out because of the randomizer that exists. This is Lapis, or is this...
This is Lapis.
So just luck? It's a lot of luck, though, right? How much luck is it? 20?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, plus 20 luck is definitely pretty significant.
It really isn't, though.
But it isn't, yeah.
When I was working on the ARPG thing, I had to make every point of stat spend give you like 30 luck or something like that to make it seem like there's a difference.
Yeah. So do you want to put it below Arcana, or because realistically, like you're comparing this to Ring of Arcana, like what would you rather have?
Much worse than Ring of Arcana.
All right.
Ring of Arcana is a percentage increase, just straight much better.
Okay.
This is almost trash tier for me.
Almost. You're putting it in trash tier?
Now that I know what luck does, trash.
The thing is, I would never put it in trash because, like we said before, like I said before, the fact that there aren't very many rings means that there's a potential where you don't have anything else to put in that slot, so just passively putting it on makes sense. Versus if you have like a sword or something, like you're going to get a sword that outperforms it very, very quickly because there are so many swords to potentially get. So that's the only reason I'm not putting it in trash tier, is because you can have it and then just equip it because you feel like it.
Yeah, I mean, I almost feel like it's a waste of menuing time.
Yes, I would only ever equip it if I already am in the menus. That's pretty much the only reason why I would ever equip it. Leather shield.
So this is an all-encompassing shield for movement utility.
This shield is only useful for movement utility, pretty much, yeah.
So shield dashing is awesome. Don't get me wrong, shield dashing is awesome, but people will think it's this magical Alucard moves 50 times faster thing, which is really not the case.
Top of C tier?
I feel like it's top of C.
Yeah.
Because, like... And this is not leather specifically, you know, this is just having a shield. Like leather, knight shield,
yeah,
shaman shield, stuff like that.
Yeah, Herald shield. Anything that doesn't have a spell that does damage attached to it, it doesn't matter. Like the defense from it won't really matter. The utility from shield dashing is all that matters from this. Coming up is Mall Blanc. So this is an easy S tier weapon.
Absolutely.
So
this is...
Where do I want to put it?
This is next to Duplicator for me.
Yeah, you want to put it...
This is such an amazing... On its own, Mall Blanc is a fantastic weapon.
Mm-hmm.
Is the thing. Mall Blanc is a plus 39 sword. That is not that slow either.
Yeah.
No, like it's pure damage, physical, plus 2 defense.
Yep.
And it's a better shield rod.
Yeah, it's
easy S tier.
It's easy S tier. Yep. Its swing speed is slow-ish, but not really. It's like average. Like it's slow compared to like Alucard's sword, but
yeah, if you do like a jump in with a ground slash, it doesn't feel slow.
Yeah, pretty much.
If you do a quick 1-2 combo, yeah,
it's not bad. Is this just the normal mace? What the fuck does the mace even do?
This is mace to show like maces, star flails, flamberge, and what's the mace?
Yeah,
just the
Morningstar, mace. Weapon. Yeah, they're. I kind of want to throw them in trash.
Not that bad.
Not that bad. I don't know, man. I don't use these ever. I would much rather have any of these swords.
These clubs are... How do I explain this? They are bludgeoning damage, which is pretty bad in general because...
There's a lot of things that resist it.
So more things resist slashing, but the things that resist bludgeoning damage...
Resist them like a lot.
Resist them a lot, and you really need to get past them, like books, stone roses.
Yeah.
Which is really awful. But it's weird. The mace actually does pretty well. Like all the maces do pretty well, like in Clockwork.
I would never use a single mace. Really well. Yeah, I would never use a mace to try and kill all rocks. Pretty much, I'd much rather use my fist in that scenario. So I'm thinking about putting it below fists.
No, I actually killed Aurochs with maces, and it was actually pretty good. Surprising.
Okay. So
the range is still something that's not worthless.
Just above fists.
I feel like it's... Nah, I think... Here's the thing. It's still bottom of C tier.
Okay.
Where the elemental swords are.
That's fair.
But it has its uses. So that's what puts it above trash.
Okay. I would put him in trash, but I agree. I agree. So Mana Prisms. Easy S tier.
Yeah, this is one of the few items in the game that's a almost automatic time save.
Yeah, I'd put it...
If you have a Mana Prism, even if it's only one, you're saving time.
Yep. It's just free time saves, so long as you use it in the right spot. If you have this plus Duplicator, it's like so strong.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. Absolutely. However, or if you just have like a big pool of them just from them being cheap in the shop or something like that. But just a standalone single Mana Prism, I feel like below a library card, but I think I might put it above Dragon Helm.
Yeah.
And the fact that they stack, the potential to have multiple of these is like not that strong or not that unlikely. Like the last seed we just did, there was like 3 of these that I found pretty like much in the castle. So there is potential to get multiple of these in a single seed without Duplicator or finding them in the library. Versus versus Dragon Helm, there is only one in the seed, no matter what. There's only one that you can get, unless you get it as a starting equipment and somehow keep your starting equipment.
But I mean, you can only equip one regardless.
Exactly. Yeah. So I'm putting it above because it general utility.
Honestly, they're almost better than library cards.
Yes. And there's a lot of situations. There's a lot of situations where you can make strats work, like the manly split without doing the save with like extra mana prisms. If you have extra mana prisms, then that strat is much more viable. Same with like skipping some saves with the checking Merman stat or checking the holy symbol check as well as Force of Echo, especially if your wing smash chains are on point. So
yeah.
Coming up next, I think, is bottom A tier weapon for me.
Yeah, Marcel. So Marcel is pretty much fantastic until we get the dragon.
Yep. This is
like having a Harper.
Yeah. A great hitbox, disgusting hitbox that stays out forever. Super active. The only downside is you can't kill Cerberus with it, so you need a weapon for Cerberus, but at that point you can just punch him if you really need to. And then Dracula, yeah, you don't want to use this on Dracula, but you technically can. It'll be like a 3 cycle or something.
For me, this is honestly better than the stars. Oh, no, wait a minute. No, that's not what I meant. It's better on the stars.
You think it's better than having Buffalo Stars?
It's better than the Claymore.
Okay.
But just below the stars because of their potential.
That's fair. Yeah, I was kind of like in the air between like which one is more useful. But yeah, I would have to agree with you. Muramasa, this is just like top of A tier or S tier?
Muramasa is honestly for me S tier.
Yeah.
Because you
I
get
put it at
this,
the bottom.
You don't care if you have anything else because you have finished the game.
Pretty much.
Now your job is just to go to the end.
There are things that are better.
So,
like if you find a Chrysogrim, if you find Maulblung and you have a shield that goes along with it. But sometimes I'll even have Muramasa above just a Maulblung on its own. Like I will always have this equipped. There's very few things that I would have equipped over the Muramasa, if that makes sense.
Yep.
I would.
The special, I had this in the first race that we did today. The damage, it's ridiculous. Well, you don't use the Muramasa with the swing. You do the special.
Yeah, honestly,
and it does like a bunch of swings at once.
It's better. I think it might be better. Well, it's not better than Iron Shield spell, but it's pretty comparable. It's like almost that level of broken. So
yeah, because Iron Shield you have more flexibility with it. Because this you can't do in the air.
So in that case, I kind of want to. Yeah, I'm definitely putting it above library cards then.
Sorry, this is Masamune, not Muramasa.
Oh, Masamune. Sorry. Yeah, Muramasa is the blood sword that nobody cares about.
Yeah, we have it later.
Yeah.
You'll see where it sits.
Yep.
But yeah, Masamune, fantastic weapon.
Yeah. This Medusa Shield.
Pretty comparable to Iron Shield.
I'd put it right below.
But has the added utility of actually being useful on its own.
Yeah.
It prevents you from getting stoned. It has an attack.
The biggest downsides are the attack does less damage than the Iron Shield, and it's honestly a piece of shit attack sometimes. Like one of the beams could just fly off screen and disappear, and you'll never see it again, and it does like way less damage.
Finicky.
Very finicky.
That's the best way to describe it.
Versus Iron Shield, you know exactly how it's going to work every single time if you know how to just do it. You don't have to worry about it. Whereas Medusa Shield is much more finicky. Yeah. And the attack does less damage, and it costs more MP.
I feel like where we put the Drac Tunic, it should be lower.
You want to put Drac Tunic lower?
It should. I almost want to put it below the shields. Looking at this now.
The problem is that I don't know. When it comes to, it is the best armor in the game.
Yeah, it is.
So
it still is
I will always have this equipped over everything else, armor-wise.
Like I would rather. Oh, Covenant is better though.
Yeah,
I think that's definitely the case.
That is true. So do you want to put it here above the Buffalo Stars? But yeah, I could see that. Yeah, I think I was overrating the fact that it's like
now when you have a more bigger picture, it seems like contextually it belongs there now.
Moonrod. I feel like this belongs at the bottom of A tier.
Moonrod is really cool. I don't think it's quite A tier because the damage falls off significantly.
Actually, yeah. Now that I think about it, I would never use this to kill Dracula, but I would use this to kill anything in the first castle. Anything in the first castle will melt to this. Like 2 spells.
I feel like I would rather have a holy sword.
Really? Actually, yeah, because I'm thinking about what I would rather have for Aurochs. Yeah, holy sword's better.
I mean, Moonrod destroys Aurochs too. So we're not talking about just the Moonrod swinging at people.
No.
The way you use Moonrod is you turn your back to someone and do the special, and then all the little fireballs immediately hit at once.
Yep.
But here's the thing:
you can also use it to clear a room. Yeah.
That all get reduced damage by defense.
Yeah.
So later bosses like scale it really way down, so it starts doing very low damage.
Yeah.
Unless you have really good strength to boost it.
pretty much. It's also useful for clearing rooms. Like if you want to get through the Fleeman or the Fleet Armor room, I usually cast it once and then just like backdash through, and pretty much everything's dead. Moving on.
Super reliable for that though either.
This Moon Stone. What exactly does it increase again?
+5 everything.
+5 everything? Okay, perfect.
Yep.
So, except for attack, which is actually kind of big. +5 strength without the +5 attack. Yeah.
So I think that's just above Gauntlet.
Yeah.
Basically.
That makes it worse than Ring of Fëanor, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Fëanor is like +8 attack total.
Should I put it... I don't know where I want to put it.
I feel like above Gauntlet is kind of where it sits.
Yeah, yeah. I think Iron Fist has more utility in it just for being a good weapon. This is Morgamel, right? Yeah.
And I think looking at this, Alucard Mel also goes to top of C tier.
Alucard Mail? Top of C tier?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Alright.
It gets demoted to add some balance to this.
I think I'm putting S-Stock at the top of, like, the very top of C tier. Just due to the utility alone, where this doesn't really provide as much there. I think having a shield is more important than it as well. So.
Look, we like Holocard Mel, but let's be real.
Just don't get hit is kind of like
it's kind of whatever, yeah.
Yeah, just don't get hit. This is Morgamel.
So, I think this is trash, honestly. So it's an elemental sword.
Yep, and we already know how we feel about that.
Dark.
How do you spell this piece of shit?
This is the castle where most of the stuff is like demons and undead. Mormagil, like I'm saying.
Okay.
It's +25, but it's dark.
Yeah, it's the worst elemental sword. It's trash. Easily.
It's trash. Like
same exact attack as all the other ones.
Something else that does physical.
Yeah.
And won't get resisted by almost like 60% of the stuff in the
Morgamel is the weapon to kill Richter. Yeah. Too bad we're not supposed to kill Richter.
we don't want to do that. So.
Alright, so Morn Blade, however, I think it goes right below Gurthang, right? Or right above it. It's somewhere around here for me.
Ooh, it's definitely not above it. It's only +36. I mean, I say that's a really good attack boost, but the damage output is rather low on it. It has the awesome extra effect of having like many soul steals, which is fantastic.
You never have to worry about dying.
Output, when it comes to the A tier weapons, it's gonna be on the lower end. It's like, if anything,
right above,
similar to Marcel, it's just much better because it's pure damage, heals you. So because of how strong it is, it's solo. I would still put it above the shields.
Okay.
And above the Covenant Stone.
All right.
But
I feel like it is a very, very useful weapon, and I'm always happy to see it.
You know, this is Mornblade, the one that heals you.
Yep, it heals as you swing. So I'm conflicted actually about this.
I am not.
I'm conflicted about whether it belongs here or here.
No, it belongs in trash.
What is its base stats again?
-5 attack and -4 defense.
Sweet.
It's two-handed.
Yep. It's worse than Red Rust.
The swing is atrocious.
Yep. It's literally worse than Red Rust, which is only -2 attack and has the added effect of sometimes failing. Where this also jams if you have less than 10 attack already. Wow. Okay. That's what the wiki says. I don't know if that's 100% accurate, but I've never seen it fail, but I've never tried to use this piece of shit ever before.
Yeah, it does fail. It fails like Red Rust.
So it's a worse Red Rust. Perfect.
Yeah. This is where it lives.
If you decide to level this up in a speed run, it would go here. But you're not going to do that, so there we go.
Bottom.
Yeah. Okay. So Mystic Pendant is really good early game, because the way that it works is that it doubles the amount of MP you regenerate passively from 1 MP per second to 2 MP per second. But as you
Exactly.
gain more MP in your total mana pool, it becomes less effective.
Yep. So it can stack. So if you find two of them, or if you find one and one is in the shop, it does stack. But that puts it from 1 to 2 to 3.
Which early game is great. Like you can.
Early game is great.
That means you wait 5 seconds to wing smash. No,
8 seconds.
8 seconds. No, because a wing smash is how many MP? I thought it was 15.
Wing smash is 8 mana. So default you wait 8 seconds. With this you wait 4. With another one you wait like 2.5.
Yeah. So if you had two
when
equipped,
you put it like that, sounds pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
But again, the later on in the game it really falls off.
Yes, that is true.
I feel like this puts it above somewhere around Barrel Circlet, but better.
I want to put it near the top of C.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna put it top
No,
of
it's better
C.
than potions.
Yeah, I want to just.
Potions.
I'm happy to see this over Estoc over.
Honestly, this is better than God's Garb.
Yeah. I think so too. Yeah.
And Javelin.
Boop. Moved up to B tier. It's such a good thing to have as a passive, and it helps that it's like in an equipment slot as opposed to like an armor or a shield or something like that, because there are very few that you really want equipped, and you have an extra slot, so you could always just throw it on there if you have it. So its utility in that sense is very useful. That it doesn't necessarily have to take up a slot. This is also okay. Plus 15 defense.
So 15 is a lot of defense. So this is probably the best accessory item that if you have it, you're like, oh sure, I'll put this on.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that it's not an armor, it actually makes it better than God's Garb.
Yep. It's better than God's
God's
Garb.
Garb gives Int, but okay.
Int is really only useful
Cool.
against fucking Akmadon.
So Int basically gives you damage on your spells and your familiars.
Which realistically like is cool and all, but
It doesn't matter.
nah, in the second castle spells become pretty obsolete for most boss fights. Except for Akmadon, I guess, but whatever.
Yeah, we're not using them for damage. Right?
Yeah,
So.
especially in the second castle. So, all right, we're moving through here. This is Ofusane.
Osafune Katana.
Osafune. That's how you pronounce it. Osafune. Shield
Osafune
dash
Katana.
gives you a shield dash. The strongest of the katanas, if I'm not mistaken, in base damage.
Osafune, not Yasutsun.
Oh, you're right. Sorry. So wait, then which?
Osafune is the one that's kind of like Masamune, but
Not as good.
worse special.
Yeah, we're special, lower damage, but you can finish the game with it. Minus 10 defense when equipped. So,
I feel like this sits at top of B.
top of B. Do you think it's worse than Marcel?
No, actually, it's better than Marcel.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Very slightly. So yeah, you're right.
Yeah, because I feel like I can comfortably beat the game with it. It's just kind of hard.
Absolutely.
That's all. It requires me to actually play well. That's about it.
And honestly, it may belong above the stars because it's a reliable, guaranteed thing.
That is true. Yeah. So I think that's a fair point. I'm gonna put it.
Maybe the Marcel should be above the fire stars
Yeah,
as well.
I agree. I think
Know what
we're
I think
I think we're
about that.
overrating the use items because they're great, but they really do require duplicator to even be considered like A tier, honestly.
Yeah.
So they're like the bottom of A.
With duplicator, they become close to S.
Yeah, they're like the top of they're top A tier, if not S tier. But
Yeah, their single use is like top C, bottom B.
so I moved Marcel above Drac Tunic, and I moved Osafune above. So
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree with these adjustments.
yeah, Drac Tunic I might have been overrating it at the beginning, but yeah,
Int does not affect MP or MP regen at all.
nope.
It does nothing.
Yeah, Int is pretty garbo in this game.
I had to mod that in for the ARPG mod.
Yeah. Ring of Pails, like I guess.
Plus on everything.
I mean, I'll put it
like,
on. I'll put it above
It's
Barrel
definitely better
Circle.
than what's it called? The luck thing.
Yeah.
I said it's trash.
I'm putting it above Barrel Circlet, but that's about it. Like,
I think it's lower than Barrel Circlet. 'Cause
Really?
The single use of Barrel Circlet is so strong
That it outweighs just
that
having
it's
one.
gonna overweigh the overall meh advantage that you're gonna get from the pelts.
That's true.
It's one damage.
This is an interesting question now. Food. How do we feel about, specifically, this is pot roast, which is plus 70 or plus 90? I can't remember which. Plus 50? That's it?
Plus
HP?
50.
Bruh, you're going in the trash, dog. What the fuck? Don't waste my time for plus 50 HP.
It's gonna be top trash.
Yeah, I
The
guess.
best trash.
What a waste of my fucking life, dude. Even, like, with Duplicator, it goes into, like, bottom of C. That's it. Like, it's not, who cares, realistically? Like, 50 HP, yes, could be the difference between, like, you living or dying, but why are you getting hit in the first place where you need that 50 HP, for one?
I
And
think
for
we
two,
can live with swapping the mace in the pot roast, potentially.
yeah, like, whatever.
Or the mace can find its new home at the top of trash.
In fact, I'm actually going to move meme down a peg so that way we kind of understand that this is like a separate categorization where trash is kind of like
Yeah,
the
it is.
start of like C tier almost. Like they kind of lead into each other. It's just that there's a gap where this has
Yeah.
some form of utility that we could think of versus like, who gives a shit? Like, why even care?
Exactly.
Opposite of why even care. This right here is a single use item, like best single use item to just throw out there, right?
I feel like this
Belongs in A tier,
just
right?
because of the sheer power of it, it belongs somewhere on the stars. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I
I
would.
would put it below Cross Shuriken for sure, though.
Yeah, because realistically, if you have a duplicator, you want these over this. But for a single use, this it overtakes these by quite a bit. Yeah, I think going with the stars makes a lot of sense. Yep.
You know what? Maybe in between Buffalo and Cross Shuriken.
I feel like that's kind of splitting hairs, but yeah, why not? Fuck it.
Yeah. Definitely not above Buffalo Star though.
No, Buffalo
Like, I know
Star
everyone
just.
loves Power of Star, but Buffalo Stars are amazing pure damage.
Yep. All right. Rapier. Do I care about Rapier?
This is an interesting weapon. Like, it's a short sword, which is its main disadvantage.
Mm-hmm. Only plus
It's
5
plus
attack.
5, but it has a flurry.
Yeah.
So, flurry is like a good range special move. That's kind of like the focus flurry. Only useful early on, so it belongs somewhere. It would be better than mace.
Yeah. Very. I was
And probably better than elemental.
my gut instinct is to throw it in the trash, but the flurry attack gives it some utility, and the fact that it has a slash, slash as opposed to bludgeoning type effect makes it a little bit better. But it is worse than the elemental
And no
swords.
element as well.
Yeah, it's worse than the elemental swords because the elemental swords just out damage it. But yeah, whatever. Who cares? Was this resist thunder or just the resists in general?
So I put this as an overall discussion for resistance potions because usually, honestly, for the most part, anyone just disregards this as useless.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a couple that are actually kind of interesting. Like if you get a resist fire in the first castle,
That helps you.
fighting Aurochs,
That
then
helps
that's
you. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. If
Then
this
it's fantastic.
this is very useful in a route where all of a sudden you went to like Colosseum first and it's like, oh, the next place I need to go is Aurochs. Like that's the optimal route, but I'm very well underprepared to fight him. So having a resist fire makes you feel a lot more confident going in.
It's basically like having a farm mill for that fight.
Yep. So it's a single use fire mail. Same thing can be said for like what are the resists? I guess resist lightning if you're really scared about fighting. If you have
Resist
it.
lightning or dark if you're fighting Galamoth and he is misbehaving. Both of those are fine.
Yeah. So below barrel circlet probably.
Definitely below Barrel Circlet. That seems like it's where
Yeah.
it's gonna sit.
It can be more useful than Ring of Pails in certain situations to a point where it saves you quite a bit of time, where Ring of Pails is just like, who gives a shit? Like, it's there if you have it, if not. This is Fire, what is it, Ruby Circlet?
Ruby Circlet, yeah.
I want to put it above Barrel Circlet just because Fire is more
Honestly, I
prevalent. Yeah, Fire is more prevalent.
More useful.
I don't want to put it above Potions, though, because, like, you really use this for 2, maybe 3 places. It's basically a Fire Shield, but without the added benefits of it being a shield for 1, and for 2, you don't have the attack that comes along with it. Another thing to think about when it comes to like headgear is you're going to unequip your headgear to put on Holy Glasses at some point. So whatever you're wearing, like, you have to remember that if you want to put it back on again, you have to menu to put it back on starting in the second castle. So what is even worth putting back on in the second castle? You know, Barrel Circlet maybe if you're about to fight Galamoth, but like other than that, there is no other headgear that I even give close to a shit about to like re-equip. There's like one other that we're gonna get to, I guess, but yeah. I guess I might as well spoil it and say Wizard Hat is the only other thing that's worth equipping afterwards. What does it equip you with again?
Wizard Hat?
+5 strength, +7 int, +5 defense, not strength. +5 defense, +7 int, +1 strength, and +1 con. The +1 strength.
Is that accurate? I'm almost questioning myself now.
Do you think it should be more or less?
I feel like it's more strength than that.
I think it's only +1 strength. I think it's the +7 int and the +1 strength that makes it like technically better than the Holy Glasses. Because what does Holy Glasses do?
Nothing.
I thought they increased something, right? Yeah, +1 defense and +5 int. So yeah, nothing that we care about. So maybe Wizard Hat isn't worth re-equipping. If that's the case, if it's only +1 strength.
It was more strength than that, honestly.
So then in that case, I don't know. I feel like
it's gonna sit somewhere. You know what? I would still more menu for it than for Alucard now.
All right.
Still. Because
that's fair.
Yeah, it's one strength and some defense, but it's
all right.
One strength, which the Alucard now does not have.
Somewhat, I don't know if this is like that controversial of an opinion, but this is like an A tier weapon, Rune Sword. Just for the fact that you can combo it in your offhand when you want to do extra damage to something. Like that alone makes it very strong.
+40, and it can double hit.
Yeah, it can double hit. You throw it.
Really good hitbox.
I want to put it above the throwing items, personally.
Yeah, because of consistency. Below Marcel and also Fune.
Mm-hmm.
But above stars, that feels accurate.
Yep. Because if you put this in your offhand while you have like an Alucard sword, you're gonna melt some bosses, dude. It's definitely above everything in B tier just from its utility alone, and the fact that you can throw it, and the fact that you have 2 hands means like even if you have to give up holding a shield, but every other one-handed weapon in combo with this works because it doesn't take time to slash it. It just comes out instantly and it doesn't interrupt whatever attack you're already doing. So it's a great combo weapon because of that. Okay. Do we want to put this like... I want to put it below Axe Armor in the meme tier list because the effect of Secret Boots is much more subtle than the Axe Armor. Am I wrong in saying that?
Most of the effect comes from anyone seeing that you equipped it.
Yeah, because you don't even notice it. Yeah.
Because yeah.
Is there any use for Secret Boost? Yeah, being able to get hit by Cerberus while crouched. If you want to do that, there's a couple other things that it technically changes about Alucard, but not really.
It's an actual meme inside the game.
Yeah. It's mega meme, yeah. So this is an interesting placement for Shield Rod.
It's still S.
It's still S tier? I think bottom of S tier, right? Just from its utility alone.
No.
Do you want to put it... Where do you want to put it then?
It's still above Alucard Shield. Because that's the thing that makes Alucard Shield work in the first place.
But the thing is, true, and you have potential to get other shields that make it useful as well. So it's not like you're only relying on Alucard shield. So yeah, you're more likely to get use out of this. It's just a worse version of this, so it can't be above it.
If anything, maybe put the Muramasa above it, in between it and Moblin. Yeah, there we go.
I agree with this because Muramasa is like the best single sword in the game that isn't Chrysogrim.
Am I misnaming it again?
No, Masamune.
Sorry, Masamune.
Sorry.
Masamune.
Yeah, we're bad. Oh, Shuriken? Fucking.
I'm always gonna forget that.
I don't know.
Shuriken, you know what? Shuriken is actually not bad.
Do I want to put it above Firestar? Like Flamestar?
Nah.
Right below it?
So, Flamestar is still a gigantic attack boost. Shuriken is half of the attack boost
Oh, really?
of Flamestars or Buffalo Stars.
So does it...
It's almost as good as Crush Shuriken though. So Crush Shuriken is plus 70, normal Shuriken is plus 50, and they come out really fast, the small Shurikens.
Their hitbox isn't great, so you do kind of have to like be precise if you're worried about what height you throw it at, but you know.
So here's the thing. Compared to the other ones, their single use is really bad. So they only become that fantastic with the combo of the duplicator. So I feel like their balanced position should be somewhere low B.
Low B, really?
Yeah, because
they drop off that
they're
heavily
so
compared to the
low
other
damage
ones, yeah.
Single use. So I feel like they're somewhere below Dynamite. No, even slightly above God's Garb maybe. And that's about it.
You think the Javelins is better?
Javelins is better.
Yeah, you're right.
Because Javelins can double hit.
That's true. That is very true.
It's still not bad though. It's not trash.
Sirloin.
Let's see. Sirloin plus 100 HP, so twice as good as the other one. I mean, that's almost a potion has no invincibility. So I honestly think I think it's definitely better than Lapis.
I'm just gonna throw it there.
It's more worth the menuing than Lapis. 100 HP.
Fine.
In the first castle, 100 HP is definitely significant.
How much
of the
is...
time when I leave the first castle, I barely have above 100.
Turkey's what? 70?
80.
80?
So, yeah.
I'll put it at the bottom of trash, or the bottom of C, or it would be the top of trash.
Sushi now is also. Sushi is also 100.
So they're the same.
Yep.
Skull Shield. Oh my god, it's kind of the worst, but kind of the best out of the... It's the worst.
I think it's meme tier, for sure.
You think it's meme tier?
Absolutely.
Alright, I'll put it at the top of meme tier.
You can't hit anything with it.
You can hit Succubus.
It's at the perfect position to not hit anything.
Succubus. Dracula, but it does such little damage to Dracula that you don't want to use it against him. You don't want to... Yeah, you really only want to use this against Succubus. That's like the only enemy that gets hit by it. If you still don't have another shield, it's shield movement. That is correct, yes. But we're talking... For the spell alone... Yeah, the spell is a meme. If we were talking about it as a shield, then it would be the same as Leather Shield. But the fact that its spell is kind of just like... It misses everything. It really does suck. You can really only use it on 2 bosses, and it doesn't do that much damage. It's pretty weak, and the MP cost is super high, too.
Yep, 40 mana.
Does this belongs in...
It's higher than Dark Shield.
Yeah.
Actually ridiculous.
We're putting this in trash tier, right? Stone Sword?
Absolutely trash tier.
Yeah.
It's base attack, so it's like using your fists, but really slowly.
Yeah. Strength Potion.
It has like... It basically slightly stuns people for barely any time at all.
It's bad. It's super bad.
Strength Potion is basically only slightly worse than Attack Potion.
Yep.
Pretty good.
Yeah, if you need to make your B tier weapon turn into an A tier weapon, use one of these. Same with the Attack Potion.
So is this meme or trash?
It's both. That's the problem. It's so bad that it's a meme.
It's so trash that it's meme.
Yeah. And it's the bottom of meme
maybe
tier.
Even near the top of meme tier.
Yep.
Because it's so meme that why is this in the game?
Yep. Just wait
high tier
wait.
Meme.
Best part is if you waited 6 hours in game time, it would go right here. That's
Yeah.
it. That's as high as it would go. So it's pretty garbage. This is an interesting. I don't want to put this in meme tier because
It's kind of meme tier though. It's
Top.
manly tier.
this is yeah.
If manly tier was a thing, this would be manly tier.
If you
So
have nothing else
has
to
the
put,
potential to literally save your life,
yes.
or do
Very-
absolutely nothing.
So if you have nothing else to put in the slot, then go ahead and throw it in there, and then it'll be around
I mean, for
like
me,
this
I value
tier.
this more than Lapis now.
Yeah, I would. Realistically, like this is kind of where it goes utility wise, but it's kind of a meme because it has a chance to just not do anything. So
Yeah.
but that's about it. Terminus Est.
What's
This
the
is
name of this? Terminus.
yeah. The only
it's
downside
plus
about this
32.
sword is its elemental. The fact that it's a poison element. That's the only
It's
downside.
poisoned, yeah. Where did we put the other elementals? Yeah, C. So this would be better than the other elementals in my opinion, because
I want to put it
many things resist it.
because
It has better attack as well.
how much is Darkblade again?
So Firebrand and stuff are plus 25. Terminus is plus 32.
Oh, it's worse than
Darkblade is
Darkblade.
35.
Yeah, so I'm gonna put it like here above Holy Rod because
it's not better than Holy Rod.
Really?
No way.
you think the
No way.
addition of having it being holy is better.
I think it's somewhere around Kador and Jewel Knuckles, in my opinion. Because think about it, this is the Terminus S doesn't have amazing range.
The only thing that resists poison
Can't
though
fight Dracula.
is like Dracula. That's it, and it doesn't even have that much attack for you would really want to fight Dracula with it. So the only downside is you can't use it on Dracula. Nothing else really resists poison, from my understanding.
The sword properties of it are not amazing.
That too, yeah. I'll put it right above Sword of Hador.
Maybe even above Jewel Knuckles.
Just going through the castle normally, you wouldn't suspect that this blade has any real downsides. It one-shots a lot of enemies, but once you try and Harper's 28.
Harper is 28, so it's slightly less, but it has better sword properties.
Yeah.
So
In effective use, this is better than the Graham, but when you try and fight Dracula, that's the thing, is you just need to know not to use this for Dracula, but for everything else, you're fine. Oh, and Akmadon, I guess. Akmadon resists poison.
Graham and Harper are just better though. Swords, they better hitbox.
This is
better
true, yeah.
Swing animation.
So I'll just put it there for now as a compromise.
Yeah, seems about right.
Yeah. Toadstool.
That's just meme tier.
Now, here's an interesting one, because I want to get some of the, like... Because we have a couple of good items left, and I want to save those for later. So I kind of want to move those to the back. Terrafing? Like, is that meme tier or is it trash tier? It's like a existential, philosophical question.
I think it's absolutely meme tier.
Minus 30 attack? Yeah. That's, like, so bad that it is a meme, yeah. So I'm going to put it here. Because I feel like the meme...
Yeah.
Actually,
Toadstool kind of fits the theme.
yeah, I don't think Talisman's that strong of a meme. But... Alright. Falcion? This is supposed to represent, like, more than
Like
just
the
a...
low tier weapons, like the Gladius,
Mhm.
like your standard sword, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah. Anything that's below like 25 attack or 20, anything that's around the 20 or below attack mark.
Yeah, Bekatawa,
Yeah.
like Damascus even, but I wanted to put Damascus standalone because I hate it personally.
Yeah, it gets personally. So
So
I put this,
it's trash, honestly.
really, I feel like it's somewhere around the rapier / elemental sword area. Like I'd put it above rapier, below elemental swords, or maybe even
Like,
above elemental
its
swords.
only useful property is having range.
Yeah. I mean, that's
Being
better than
cut.
rapier.
So it's better. I don't know. Rapier has the special
Their
that
special isn't...
actually has damage output,
Ah.
DPS. So above mace,
Yeah. I'll just put it above mace. This is trash tier, Tekamitsu. / all the
Yeah.
other garbage. Like, what's the other garbage katana?
Namakura.
Yeah, Namakura. Werebane. Let's do that one. Vorpal and Yatsasuna next. So Werebane is the best short sword, but making it the best short sword doesn't really mean much.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's a special ability that it's strong against werebeasts, which is only Minotaur and Werewolf. Those are the only two that it's strong against. So I guess if you really wanted to fight Minotaur and Werewolf, like, go for it. But it's only plus 18 attack, which is not that much.
It's kind of cool how they put the weapon to fight Minotaur Werewolf in an enemy that's in the same area.
Mm-hmm.
That's clever. I like never would have known that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, but long story short, it's like if you, I don't know, man, it's like a C tier. Like, I'll put it above the elemental swords.
I think it's better than Lapis.
Yeah,
Because Lapis, for me, is
better
trash.
than food, better than Ring of Arcana.
Yes, better than Pales.
Yeah,
For me, it's around the potions.
I'll put it above the potions for now.
Yeah,
That looks about right.
'cause it's a guarantee thing.
So, how do we feel about Twilight Cloak? It's like, as far as cloaks go,
Let's
like,
see
they don't.
exactly how much it gives.
The thing is that most
It's
capes.
plus- Wait, it gives you plus 10 con and nothing else?
Yeah, most capes, all they do is increase
that's
constitution.
trash,
Nobody,
honestly.
all the capes are trash because of that, which is one of the reasons why, like, just what is it? Joseph's Cloak is so low, is because, like, who
It's
cares?
plus 9.
Yeah, it's
Joseph's Cloak is plus 9.
honestly, I'm putting it below Joseph's Cloak because it's not as swag, but it's basically the same thing. Because Joseph's
Here's the
Cloak,
thing, though. I thought it gave defense as well.
no, just Constitution.
literally
That's
gives
all
con.
capes. That's all capes, right? It's just Constitution. That's the only difference.
Yeah.
Yeah. So capes in general are just bad, as it turns out. They're really only for aesthetics.
I mean, I would shift it down to trash, honestly.
Because yeah. I don't know. I mean, it's one of those things where, because it's a cape and capes are a slot that don't interfere with anything else, I'll put it on
Yeah,
if I'm
you're
already
right.
in the menu. But I'd rather put on a Joseph's Cloak over a Twilight Cloak because it looks better, and I'm not missing out on one extra Constitution at all. So we're wrapping up here. Vorpal Blade. Where do we put this bad boy? Like, I don't know. I feel like
Vorpal. Vorpal is an interesting little thing.
When I
So
first
Vorpal
started playing,
mobility.
I felt like it belonged in B tier, like low B tier. But realistically,
Really?
because I just felt like I couldn't kill like a lot of bosses as fast as I wanted with it. But that's when I first started playing. After realizing that I just need to mash faster. If you this weapon kind of scales with how fast you're able to mash. Honestly, if you're very good at
And
mashing, it's
very heavily with equipment.
yes.
That's persistent equipment.
Because your DPS is kind of scaled with how fast you can mash, if you put this with an attack potion, it kind of like makes it an S tier weapon easily. So I want to say that it's somewhere around the throwing weapons as far as like just general utility, right? It's kind of like, I want to put it above them in the A tier.
I feel like it's above Marcel.
Really?
Because it gives you the dashing ability, and you're like, I'm done. I can kill Dracula
Yeah,
when you get Vorpal.
that's true.
So
It might be above Covenant Stone
potential
even.
doesn't scale that high, but the guaranteed thing that you get is really solid.
There are other things that outclass it in some circumstances, but realistically, like if you have a Vorpal, there aren't many things that you would really want over it. I'm putting it above Covenant Stone, but just barely. Like I feel like they're
Covenant Stone and Vorpal are like the combo.
yeah. If you have these two together, you're
Well,
good.
there's something else that we're gonna talk in a little bit.
Yeah.
that is more the combo than that. Yeah.
But still, yeah. Yatsutsuna.
So in a very similar vein, Yasutsuna.
Yeah.
It's very similar, but Yasutsuna actually does good damage.
It has a jank ass hitbox that if you're not prepared for will fuck you over in a lot of scenarios. It just kind of like disappears or whatever. I don't.
So Yasuna is plus 60. Vorpal
It's like plus 28,
Vorpal
24,
was plus 25.
25.
Yeah, so Yasuna is much better default damage output. It's two-handed.
Which ruins some of its utility with like other combos. Like Vorpal plus Rune Sword is like crazy damage output. Vorpal plus, like, if you have only one Buffalo Star but a duplicator as well, you can spam the duplicator, Buffalo Star, and the Vorpal. Stuff like that. Like, Vorpal's one of those weapons that you could put on your offhand as well to just, like, spam along with your other weapon. So it gives it more utility than the Yatsutsuna in that sense. Yatsutsuna does do more damage, and it has, like, a weird iframe thing.
It has so much more damage that it really needs to be higher, in my opinion.
Okay. I agree. Like this is a Dracula killer on its own, versus Vorpal is like you kind of want something with it to kill Dracula consistently.
Yeah, it kills everything. Everything killer.
Yeah.
Plus, it also, even though it's two-hander, you don't use the utility because it has
the utility of like shielding. Yeah.
The ability of dashing.
Vorpal.
You lose the second slot for like mana prisms or something like that. But it's so high that it's definitely, in my opinion, above Alucard Sword.
You know what?
Because when you think about it, Alucard Sword...
It might be the top of A, almost S tier. It could be an S tier, now that I think about it, yeah. Because what other weapon would you really... There's like one or two weapons that you would want over this, but if you have this, you're like, okay, I don't need to farm or like check items to get a better weapon.
The thing about Yatsutsuna is it doesn't have the crazy high scale potential for the S broken tier.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like amazing... But that's it. It just sits at that amazing tier. Amazing for A. It's A.
Yeah. Tulkas. You can still double hit with Tulkas, right?
Yeah.
I want to put it like
so
in A
Tulkas
tier.
Is only plus 38. It
or
has
maybe
the flurry, aerial special,
which is really useful for some bosses.
Fireball. Still punch, still melee. It could be like near the bottom of A.
Yeah, I'm like
it's like the Yatsutsuna. It's just good and it's good. It's not amazing. It's just really good.
I think
So I feel like it's just
it deserves. I think it deserves to be an A tier because like you can finish the full.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's kind of like the barrier to getting into A tier is like, well, is it better than the Ephes to Tulkas? Alrighty, we saved the best.
We'll take like another final look after we.
Yeah.
Well, after this.
The final bad boy here. This dude right here, like, it's an S tier item.
So this is the thing that makes trash tier something that you can take to the end of the game.
It's like where in S tier do we put it? I kind of want to put it.
Honestly, it's just behind Chrysogon for me.
Yeah, I think it's better than Duplicator. Honestly,
like, it's
the overall utility of just one.
40 damage.
Imagine just one. It's only one. If you had two of these, which you have the potential to equip two, you can get two Vardas if you're really lucky, or if they're cheap in the shop. So it's like, yeah, like this.
It even gives 10 defense raw.
Yeah, just everything is better with it.
Why not?
You can make anything in B tier work to kill Dracula with a Varda.
You make it S, basically.
Yeah. Maybe not fists and like a couple of fringe items, but realistically, like top of B tier, like any of these weapons, Harper, I can kill Dracula. Terminus, no, because of the resistances, but like all of this shit. Katana, forget about it. I can clear the game easy with Katana, Darkblade, Moonrod, Holy Sword, all that shit. It turns any other S tier weapon into just fucking SSS plus, like stupid broken. Two of these plus Chrysogram is like fucking dumb. Like double Chris, double Ring of Varda. It's disgustingly stupid. Like you're killing Dracula like as he's like falling down. It's so dumb. But yeah, that's our initial placements. Is there anything that stands out to anybody in chat?
Yes. Take a look at the tiers and see if there's something that just stands out as an outlier. There's some compromises that we did. I feel like some things in C I felt like I had a more strong feeling that they're trash, but there is definitely a statement to be made for many inefficiency and then being okay.
Yeah.
Well, Neo Foods It's a lot of HP. Where,
Yeah.
how else are you gonna restore more than 100 HP or near 100 other than going to a save room, which is very
Potion.
time costing? So yeah,
It's just they're worse
that's the only
versions of
reason why they're not
potions.
trash.
Yeah, the only reason
Yeah.
yeah, they're just worse versions of potions because you get no invincibility from it. You have to physically collect the food after you throw it, which is a pretty big downside, especially if you throw it in the wrong spot. You know.
Why are you upset? It's in meme tier. Meme doesn't mean trash. Meme tier is meme tier.
Who's mad
Meme tier
about?
has value.
Who's mad about
Secret
what? In
Boots.
Secret Boots? Yeah, it's in meme tier. You're fine.
Meme tier has meme tier is meme tier. It sits at the bottom, but it lives in its own realm, where you know.
Yeah. Sirloin and sushi are the only foods that are plus 100. That's it.
I think that realm may be New Zealand, but I'm not sure.
Is sushi plus 110 or just 100 flat? For some reason, I thought it was plus 110.
Yes. Yeah, it's 100 apparently.
Okay, so they're exactly the same. Yeah, so nobody gives a fuck.
So I feel like Dynamite may be brought down to Javelins potentially. Now that I look at them side by side,
Yeah,
because the utility of the armors kind of makes it justifiable for them to be a little bit higher in this
Yeah.
B tier.
honestly, I'm
Which turned out to
surprised.
be our biggest.
I'm honestly surprised that anything defense-oriented made it into B tier, but... Yeah.
When you need it,
The thing that makes
and
this list...
Aurochs,
Yeah, the thing that makes this list kind of confusing is that we're trying to make comparisons between like different armor slots, which are hard to compare against realistically, because like they don't necessarily always go against each other. Like if I have, for example, the choice between God's Garb and fucking Dracula Tunic, like Dracula Tunic takes over the slot of God's Garb, so it is just better in every scenario. Versus like some things are just work in combination with each other or just independent of each other, so it's kind of hard to like categorize them comparatively because of that, like weapons being compared to shields, being compared to armor, being compared to headgears. It's kind of weird, but you know, I think we did a pretty good job overall.
yeah, I'm pretty satisfied with this.
All right, I think that's
It's
gonna
ready
be
for the Twitter.
oof. That's the biggest question
the
of
Twitter
all.
bomb. How do you even do this? Is there some export function?
Save download tier list probably. You need to sign up. Wait, what? No, I could just do this and friggin' print screen, baby. Get fucked. I ain't gonna download this shit.
You can don't print screen it.
But I can just crop it.
like a
I can crop it
like a
later.
non-savage person.
Fuck.
Save.
Fine.
Print
Whatever.
screen, Jesus.
I was gonna print screen, guys. Oh, don't look at my
More
shit. Fine.
Or you
Alrighty.
can just sign in.
Nah, it's fine. I already
Even
figured.
though I can see why that's a problem too.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. Alrighty.
You can do it later, I guess.
I think that's gonna be it.
So, guys.
Yeah.
So, anyone that's finding it intriguing to run the randomizer because of this complete meme, like, if anyone hasn't realized, if they've been watching for like more than an hour, if they haven't realized, all of these 40 people, we're all living in meme tier right now because this has always been kind of a joke,
Mm-hmm.
but really fun regardless.
Yep.
In any case, if you're interested in doing the randomizer, we have a Discord, and if you feel intimidated, tomorrow at about this time, like a few hours earlier, about when we start doing the races, so in about 20 hours, let's say, or 19 hours, I'm gonna be doing a guided playthrough of the randomizer, kind of explaining exactly what our decisions are, and it's gonna be a good combo with this video that I'm sure it's gonna be on BB's YouTube.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm gonna explain why we do stuff that we do, and it's gonna be more about the relics than the items.
Yeah, so if you're around at this time tomorrow, go check out Talik's Twitch. Drop a follow now so you don't forget. And yeah, that's going to be it. I feel like this is an appropriate time for I Am the Wind to start playing. Yeah. If you're watching on YouTube, subscribe, follow, like, enter for a free gift card giveaway, all that meme shit. And yeah, I think that's going to be it. See you guys later.